Well, as we can see live pictures coming there from the North Pretoria High Court, it seems that the court session has been adjourned yet again. We'll try to get in touch with our reporters on the ground and inside the court just to get a sense of what took place when the court session resumed before this second adjournment of the day. As we know, earlier on, the opposition leaders and council representatives were actually arguing facts and issues relating to the cost that should be paid by President Jacob Zuma. A lot of the opposition believes that President Jacob Zuma should pay for these court proceedings in his own capacity. But one of the judges mentioned there that the president was being charged, or rather could be implicated in the state capture report in his capacity as the president. And so it didn't quite make sense to want him to pay as an individual because he is actually being represented in the office of the presidency. But we can see live visuals there coming in from court. Some of the council members there just packing up their bags for the adjournment. We also heard some cheers from members who are sitting in the benches there inside the court, probably happy or rejoicing regarding whatever judgment or judgment was being passed by the judges there just before the adjournment. We can see shaking of hands there. Council members are looking rather pleased with themselves, rather pleased with the outcome of their arguments from this morning. Well, as we know, the breaking news from earlier on today is that President Jacob Zuma has withdrawn his interdict application to stop or halt the release of the state capture report. And also President Zuma's counsel, Anthea Platt, mentioned that she has not been instructed to fight or argue against any costs that might be coming the president's way in terms of the bills to be paid for these proceedings. Well, joining us on the line right now is our reporter Calden Ongmu, who has been inside the North Pretoria High Court since this morning. Good afternoon, Calden. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, the court session has been adjourned. Calden, give us an update of what took place a few moments prior to that.
Okay, currently I can tell you it's a breaking news that the judge has asked to release the report not later than 5 p.m. today. And yes, that's the breaking news. As of now, they've ordered not later than 5 p.m. today on our office website. Then the judge also said in terms of, I'm sorry, I'm just exiting the courtroom, so I'm really sorry. There's a lot of people pushing me. So in terms of the personal payment, the court ordered that must be paid not later than 7 days. So that is the breaking news coming in right now. We're just trying to be getting reactions from political parties and leaders that are here right now.
Well, Calden, was there any sense from the court regarding Minister Zwane's pending application that's yet to be heard on the 8th of November? Well, it seems we've lost Calden Ongmu there. That's our reporter who's been live in the North Gauteng High Court. She's just making her way outside the courtroom, so a bit of a shuffling going on there. But breaking news coming there from Calden Ongmu that the judges have actually declared that the state capture report should be released by the Office of the Public Protector no later than 5 p.m. today. Calden also giving us an update there on payments, the payments of the costs to be made no later than 7 weeks from today. We have our assignment editor, Cecilia Russell, who joins us on the line. Good afternoon, Cecilia. What's your reaction to the release of the state capture report coming out today, as declared by the judges?
Completely expected, because everything, the whole interdict was dropped. So, and that was the first thing that everybody immediately said, that it would be released, even though there's still a particular, Zwane has put in an application for an interdict. There's no reason, unless the interdict is granted, for a report not to be released. So it's completely expected to have this report released.
Well, Cecilia, we are aware that once the Public Protector's report is released, whatever recommendations are made in that report regarding those that are accused or implicated are actually binding. So in the event that Minister Zwane is implicated and there's some recourse to be taken there, wouldn't that actually hinder his right to have interjected or interdicted this report?
Not at all. Actually, the the Constitutional Court clearly, laid a framework for what happens with public protectors' reports. If it's a final report, it can be taken on review. In fact, it's the only way to deal with it. It must be taken on review. So this afternoon we'll be able to see, exactly what the public protector had to say, and in addition, the allegations about all the people involved, and we can expect that there will be, a court action after that as they take it on review. The second part of that whole decision was that about President Zuma paying for the cost of these 2 days of court action in his personal capacity, which is, it's very expensive because each of the applicants had two counsels, and sometimes counsels come at huge cost per day. So that they're going to have to file a supplementary affidavits for, and they will argue that later in court.
Well, Cecilia, clearly the opposition parties seem to be rather happy, as we heard their reactions there as the judges just finished giving their ruling. A lot of cheers and excitement. What can we expect to see? I mean, there have been marches from the DA, from the EFF. Do you think they're also eagerly anticipating the contents of this report coming out?
I think that one should look at the marches holistically. There's a whole group of people, even within the ANC, that have come out very strongly demanding that this is released. If you look at the composition of one of those marches, there's people like Paul Mashatile and other really senior ANC people. So there are three kind of groupings. Obviously, the opposition parties are going to make a huge amount of noise about this and see this as a victory. There are people within the ANC that see it as, that this is perhaps a point where, as the ANC, they can perhaps look within the ANC and to see what they could do about what they see as fixing the leadership crisis. But there are, as I said, it's not just an opposition thing. There's a whole wave of different reactions from across the political spectrum.
Well, Cecilia, some breaking news that came in earlier on today was that the CEO at the Public Protector's Office has resigned. Do you think it's a coincidence that she resigned on the same day that President Zuma actually withdrew his interdict for this report to be released?
Well, he hasn't said, so I'd be speculating. But it would seem that could be an interpretation. But as I said, that's speculative. All we know is that sometime this afternoon, in fact, probably within an hour or two, that report will be released. There's no reason why it shouldn't be released. Whether the traditional ceremony or whatever you call it with that Tuli Madonsela used to use for releasing a report will be honored. She always called everybody into the studio, into her office, and she read the report, from end to end. Ensuring that everybody, it could be taken live, etc., or whether we released on their website is unclear at the moment. But we shall bring that kind of information to you, and I'm sure that if it has been released live, we will also take it live for the benefit of our viewers.